Hey everyone, it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans, and today I thought we'd mix things up a little bit, and I am actually going to talk about functional planning instead of decorative planning, although it's still me. My functional planning has a bit of a decorative swing to it. Anyway, this is my bullet journal. It is a Zen art notebook, and it is a B5 size notebook, so it's, I think, about 7 by 9. It's bigger than the standard like A5 size ones that everyone uses. I just prefer a larger notebook. I find it really hard to write so tiny in any kind of speed. I obviously I do it in my planner, but I go so slowly that it's just not super practical for me for functional planning. So I prefer a larger functional planner, but this is still slim enough that I can carry it around with me. I do sometimes take it with me. We don't really go anywhere, and I don't like go to an office or anything, and I haven't for years, so it mostly stays in the house, but I can take it with me when we go to the beach, and I can, you know, drop it in my purse if I need to, or whatever, like in the diaper bag. But yeah, anyway, it has this like really pretty pink cover. They have a bunch of different colors. It's about $17 on Amazon, so it is pretty affordable as far as like nice bullet journal notebooks go. The paper quality is really amazing for that price. The pages are numbered, all of that stuff. I actually do have some videos about this. I did used to record bullet journal videos, and I show this on Instagram and especially on my stories all of the time. And so one thing that I wanted to talk about while I was showing my bullet journal is kind of like the, you know, the difference between the social media presentation and how things end up. I think that it can be really hard to kind of like forgive your mistakes, especially if you have like a planner Instagram or a planner YouTube, and that just doesn't work on the day-to-day. And in my bullet journal, it's the place where I let go. Everything starts out super neat, or mostly starts out super neat when I set up my spreads, but it gets messy, and I just have learned to embrace that. There are weeks where I stop halfway through. There are weeks where I just don't feel like setting it up, and I do something like super quick. There are weeks where I feel like playing with a ton of stickers, and I bring that in, and there are weeks where my handwriting just looks like hot garbage at the end of the week, and that is totally fine. That is what this is all about. It's my bullet journal. It does not have to be my super special pretty memory planner where I really agonize over every letter that I make. So I think that this is like a little bit, it's definitely a little bit softer, and I think that that's important to show it so you can see what it looks like. So where I'm at in here is it's the end of May now while I'm filming this video, and I have just finished my June setup, and my June setup is in before the pen mode, and everything prior to that is in regular mode, so you will be able to see what we are looking at here. I have a pretty simple bullet journal setup and philosophy overall. I started using the index at the beginning of the year and then did not keep using them, and that's fine. I feel like that happens every year. I say I'm gonna use the index, but I never do, and I don't really have like collections or anything. I don't find that I'm able to keep up with that in a bullet journal. I mostly just use it for like day-to-day task management and sort of like appointment, a month at a glance type thing. My monthly spreads in here are my favorite spreads of pretty much anything, anywhere. The only thing that I do have in terms of like pre-year setup is I do have just this big page that says 2021 because that's the year we're in, and then this, which I made, it looks kind of like a clock, and I set like a big 3 thing at the beginning of every month in my monthly pages, which you'll see, and then I kind of just give myself a did not do, kind of did, definitely did for each of those big 3 things, and I kind of keep track of that. So in like February and March, I did all of the things that I said I was gonna do on the big 3, and then sometimes it's out of your control. Honestly, I'm not like a major goal setter anymore. I find that like small manageable goals is a lot easier, and that's kind of more what this is meant to reflect. So anyway, that is kind of what that looks like, and full disclosure, I just did the April one, and it's the end of May. I just went and looked at it and was like, okay, well that's that. So I was doing great with that, but we will have to see. I'll have to remind myself to do May, so I'm trying to stick with that for the year. That's a very simple amount of tracking. That's the amount I can handle. Anyway, I don't have any other like yearly collections or anything like that. We just went right into January, and I was feeling a bit doodly, so I did this. Like snowflake doodles are some of my favorite things to doodle, like that kind of thing, and I used a silver pen, which kind of got smudged all over the place, but that's fine. And then this is pretty much everything in here. The monthly page is like mostly like the same. I have some kind of decorative element, or the month goes across 2 pages, and I have a cover page. And then I have a line a day memory keeper, which I just write down like one, or sometimes more, but one thing for every day. And then a little bit of other memory space here. It's like mostly stuff about the kids that ends up in the bottom. And then I have my dashboard, which is have found this very, very functional. And I really, really like this. So I have this split up, and the categories in this actually match the color coding categories in my monthly calendar, so that it kind of goes together. But so I have a space for work projects. If you don't know, I work freelance, so I put space for work projects. There's that top 3 that I was talking about. Here is my video tracker, and then I just like mark them off as I film, edit, upload, or voiceover and upload them. Things that I need to schedule here, like appointments, and then running to-do lists like for the month for larger projects or anything like that that are not work-related. Work-related stuff goes there. House stuff, I have that also split up there. I'm probably, eventually I could roll this back in. I still have it split out, but honestly, like the house stuff is like in May, I think I wrote one thing down in the to-do list, and I had a couple of house things. So those could probably be recombined at some point. We were still like kind of finishing up construction at this point, and there was like a lot going on. And then as well, I just have a section for notes or to write down whatever else I want to write, and that those categories haven't changed yet. At least I'm still doing that over in June. So it is definitely working for me. And then this is what the monthly calendar looks like. I have been trying to bring in some Simply Gilded stickers to this stuff periodically, just so that I can, you know, kind of use what I have. And I divide my calendar up into 7 color-coded categories. We have work, money, kids, appointments, planner, house, and other. And like other, I'll write things like holidays, birthdays, things like that. I know, you know, like things that are like school events or things about kids, stuff like that. I don't know, even sometimes if they have, now that it's like warmer and we can see people and stuff, it's like if they have a birthday party, so I will usually put that under kids, but like a doctor's appointment I put under appointments. So I know there's like obviously some overlap that can go on, but yeah. And then planner is mostly just my video schedules, or if I'm working on a setup or anything like that, I'll put that in there. And then house stuff, money, that should be pretty obvious, and work is work stuff. So yeah, the rest of that is kind of self-explanatory. I went with a lot of washi this month, and these are definitely my favorite spreads in here, and kind of like this is like my top functional spread. This is how I kind of stay organized on like the big picture basis, and what I use this probably the most in my bullet journal. And I really love the color coding, and all of the colors in here are pretty much almost always zebra mild liners. So like all this stuff is zebra mild liners, even most of the writing. I've done that. I occasionally bring in some Tombos to do like the lettering and stuff, but for the most part, I use zebra mild liners, and I will show what pens I use and stuff at the end. But anyway, so this is, this is how I started the year. I was still going with like this really simple setup with 2 months per page, 2 weeks per page, sorry, that I was just doing. And then I tried to do, like, I've periodically tried different things to bring in meal planning into here, and also to do color coding in here. But you can just see, this is like when I don't feel like setting up my bullet journal in advance, this tends to be what the kind of thing you get is. I have a new way that I like a little bit better that I've been doing lately when I haven't felt like setting it up, but this is where I was at the beginning of the year. We were still under construction at this point, and this was like the only planner stuff that I had out, and I was like not really doing much, and I didn't have like a lot of washi. I think this, I may have even gone back after I unpacked my office and added that back in after. I don't 100% remember, but that may have been a thing that happened. And then we have the next 2 weeks in January, so I did just stick with that, and you can see like sometimes things just get super, super messy, and I was pretty busy with work at this point too. And then I was just trying to like, I had like a car appointment this day, so I was like trying to mark that out. So, you know, just super practical. A bullet journal can be fancy, and it also doesn't have to be. So then we are into February, and I just went with this like very scribbly heart and across the 2 pages. I do struggle with kind of inspiration, and sometimes I do feel like sitting there and doodling, but a lot of times I just don't. And I'm also like not, you know, I'm not an amazing artist or anything. I can doodle, but I can't really, I'm not, you know, a professional level artist like you see for some people. This again is my very, very functional, non-decorative planner. So anyway, here is my February line of day and my February dashboard that I did. And then here's my calendar. I love the way this one looks. It's like so hot pink. Anyway, super, super fun. And I try to like pick the mild liners that kind of like are on theme, if you will, whatever the theme might be. This one's just like kind of hot pink, but it is February, so you know what you're gonna get. Anyway, and then this week I started doing the same thing, and then I ended up just for the rest of the month, I did like 1 week here, and I just stopped using this altogether, and I just gave up on the month. I still used my calendar, and I still used my dashboard, and I just kept a running list going after that, and that is it, and that is totally, totally fine. Again, a bullet journal, like your functional planning should be all about forgiveness. That's what I think. Like if it gets messy, it's messy. It's about getting things done in your life. It's not about like sitting down and making something beautiful. This is like whatever you need to be organized in your life. So then I went back to March and I was like, okay, ready to jump back into this, ready to make something pretty and bring in some more washi. And I went with like this rainbow theme. March for us is, even though my one baby, her birthday is like February, at the end of February, I really think of March as birthday months. Like my kids are essentially all born in March. One just was like a few days early. Anyway, March is our birthday month. And my birthday's at the beginning of April. So it's really like late February to the first week in April is like the birthday period. So I have, again, my line a day memory keeper, my same dashboard, again, all of the same categories here. And then here is the calendar. I think this looks so pretty with the rainbow. It's just like, oh, it's so bright and fun and just really, really nice. And then you can see this was kind of a busier month for us. We had like kind of a lot going on there, a lot of work stuff, different stuff, whatever. And then at this point, I started to see a lot of Dutch door spreads and I decided I really wanted to try it out. So I did. And for the first week, I didn't even cut the page. I just folded it because I was like messing around with it and I wasn't sure I was going to want it. So I never unfolded it. But so it was like this during this week, and I also tried to bring in some color coding. I did a couple weeks where I was doing habit trackers, and yeah, that was that. And then I started transitioning away from the theme that I picked to do like this little bit more delicate yellow and green thing for the rest of the month. I'm not really sure why I did that, but it's what happened. And I also tried to do some color coding this week, and this one is like an actual Dutch door where you cut the page, and I really, really liked that for a few weeks, and then I stopped doing it. But yeah, it was really fun to try out. I just found that it was like too much space. Again, this is a very large notebook. It's much larger than a regular A5 notebook, so I did not have, I did not need all of the space. But then I started getting a little bit doodly, and I really liked that doodle that I had done, so I decided to do, oh no, wait. I thought I had one more really doodly spread in here. Oh, it's coming up. Anyway, so then I switched again. I don't know what's going on here. I guess I went back. I don't know. This is like another color scheme. I guess I was just picking a single color from, this one was like rainbowy, but then I picked yellow, and then this one is like purple. So anyway, that's what I did. I don't remember that, but that's fine. And this one actually, this is like this front page. If you just looked at that, that's pretty neat, but then you look in here and I just started to get a little messy. Again, totally fine. And then I've just been trying to use some leftovers from kits for habit trackers. I've already given up on the habit trackers. I may bring them back. I did like doing that. But anyway, that was that. And then here's the one where I got really doodly. This was the sort of last full week in March, and I just started drawing these little vine doodles, and on this page I drew a ton of them. I think I was just watching TV one night and just got a little bit carried away with the doodles while I was setting it up, but it did make for a very pretty spread. And yeah, and this one, it even was like a little bit neat. And then we were doing some, we were having our Passover Seder, so I had a whole cooking list thing going on at the bottom there. And then this one, okay, and then this was the like last week in March and first week in April, and I went really crazy with this one with the Dutch door and cut it as a triangle. This was the week of spring break. The kids did not have school at all this week, and then my husband took off the end of the week and we went to my parents' beach house. Not like beach weather yet, obviously, but well, maybe not, obviously. I live on the East Coast, so it's not beach weather yet, but we still had fun and went to the playground and that kind of stuff and just, you know, got away for a few days. But because of that, I didn't think I was gonna get all of that much done this week, so I just decided to go really fun with the spread because I didn't know how much I was really gonna use my bullet journal, given that I was gonna have all 3 kids home all week, and 3 kids 5 and under does not make for a productive house. But I did have a ton of fun setting this up, and I do think it looks really pretty. This is probably my second favorite spread of all the weekly spreads I've done. We're gonna get to my favorite one in a minute, but it's in May. But this is, or maybe in April, I don't remember. Anyway, this was one of my favorite spreads, and it was very doodly. I just sat down one night and doodled this again, like watching TV and stuff. I usually set these up on like Sunday night while I'm watching TV, and sometimes I feel like doing it, and sometimes I just don't, and you get all boxes, and sometimes I really do, and you get something like this. So anyway, that is what happened. And then we are on to April, and I was really feeling those flowers at the time, so I went with a lot more of them. And all of this is also done with mild liners. I do have the mild liner brush pens in addition to like the regular mild liners, and I've been using them a ton, and I super, super love them. So again, my line a day, my same dashboard, and this monthly spread, which I think this looks really, really pretty. Just really, really pretty with all of the flowers and a little bit of that peach color washi. So just really, really nice spring vibes. And I was still doing the Dutch doors. I think this is my last, yeah, this is my last Dutch door. I got to this week, I did, you know, I wrote a lot on Monday, Wednesday, and even on Thursday, although usually, because I have 2 kids with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays because my son only goes to school Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so usually like Monday, Wednesday, Friday is my practical, or like my practical get stuff done days, and also for work. But yeah, anyway, I also was still doing habits at this point. I had like my meal plan over here, and then I just didn't write anything all weekend. I didn't use any notes, and I was like, well, okay, this is getting a little silly. Maybe I don't need quite so much space, and I just didn't really feel like doing it. So I went back to a week thing and tried to like take some lessons learned from what I liked about the Dutch door and do like a more simplified spread, but I still had my habits and my meals and like, you know, little next week and to-do lists, and then the flower doodle and all of that, but just like a little bit more condensed space. And then this, I think, is my favorite spread. It might be the next one. Both of them next two are kind of just like, I just went with like this really weird, wild, just random boxes. I used a bunch of washi, some Simply Gilded stickers, and different stuff there. And then I kept like mixing up which days were which though, and I did end up having to go back to and like get the undo out, which I don't usually do in my bullet journal, and to like just swap some of the days around later on. But I do think that this looks really, really pretty. I thought this was really fun. I just decided, I watch a lot of bullet journal videos. That's probably of planner videos. What I watch the most of is bullet journal setup videos, because I just like to get the inspiration for my own functional planning. And I do really love stickering videos too, but I watch a lot of bullet journal videos, and I just saw a lot of people doing like the whole like ripped washi thing, and I was like, I want to try that. I have so much washi. Let's do it. And this ink washi is like it's definitely some of my favorite washis. I just used this in a memory spread, and I'm just like in love. Anyway, this was such a pretty set of washi. Simply Gilded box. All of the washis in here are from Simply Gilded, by the way. And then I tried to do something similar again this week. I even used like the same stickers. But this one, it was like a little bit too dark when I was drawing it out, and it got really messy, but it's totally fine. And I just added the bright colors in to kind of distract from how unstraight my lines were, despite the fact that I was using a ruler. Sometimes I actually feel like it's harder to draw straight with a ruler. But anyway, that was the last week in April. And then for May, I started this month like all in on the bullet journal and super doodly. I decided to go with a planner girl theme. I drew this whole pen cup over here. This is supposed to look like a little sticky note or something with the washi taped on it. I was just like, let's do this. There's a few days left in May here. Anyway, like I said, I've had literally one thing on my big to-do list this month. So I've had some house stuff. I feel like maybe I didn't combine it for June. I probably should have, but that combination is coming soon. It's coming soon. I just have to figure out what to do with the extra space. Anyway, you know, this is what we did. In April and May, I've really struggled to think of what my top 3 goals should be. And yeah, so anyway, sometimes it just don't have a goal. I do have one bookmark in here because this is where I currently am. Usually just at the end of the day or first thing in the morning, I'll jot down the line a day, like memory for the day. And that'll be like the first thing that I do or the last thing I do, just depending on whether I did it the night before. And then here is my calendar. This month was, just because of the way the days fell, I would have either had to do a Sunday start, which I don't have in me to do it. I need a Monday start. I am a Monday start person. Or I could like squish my calendar in, because usually I draw out the days individually like you've seen, but so I did this calendar instead so that it would fit and I could still have the Monday start, and then I just went really hard with the doodles, and I do think it's super, super cute. It was a lot of work to set this up, more work than I typically spend, but it was really fun, and I just did this over a couple of days, like while I was, again, watching TV or watching YouTube videos, different stuff like that. Again, we've had like really busy Wednesdays, but we've had kind of a busy month as well. And then I decided, I saw this spread on a different, so a spread at least similar to this on someone called Julianne Doodle's YouTube channel. She's like a really big bullet journal. I love her stuff. Her stuff is really cute that she draws. So I did like kind of a similar layout to something that I had seen on her channel and decided to do that as like a more simplified spread. Plus I thought that this matched the way like the monthly setup would be. And I just really liked it, and I really liked the way the doodles looked. And I ended up doing that for 2 weeks with like the bigger doodles and you know, a little bit of washi and making it look fancy. And then I hit a week where I really did not feel like setting anything up or doodling, so I just drew the shape and just wrote the dates in. And again, that was really fun, and I did not use that over the weekend. We were literally outside and at the beach all weekend. Yeah, and I didn't really write any big 2 weeks. So again, sometimes it gets used more and sometimes it gets used less, but it's there when I need it. And then once again, another week where the week we're in now, where I really did not feel like setting up my bullet journal, and I just drew the same shape. I didn't even finish doing the mild liner all the way around this week. I just drew a line and I didn't write any labels. But basically the way that this general setup works is I write any like appointments or meetings that I have at the top. My to-do list goes in the middle and our dinner goes at the bottom. So it is a very practical, simple spread, and it works really well for me, and I do really like it. That being said, since I knew I was gonna film this June video, I did go a little bit extra for the one that I drew. So now here is my new June setup. So this is what this ends up looking like at the beginning of the month when I take all my pretty pictures and before I, you know, destroy it with my life. Anyway, so I decided to go, I wanted to pick like a Simply Gilded beachy thing and use some stickers and stuff from that kit, and just some like fun beachy colors. So I'm using, this is from the Simply Gilded Beach kit. All of the stickers and the washies are mostly from that month. I have like another washi pulled in as well, but I just thought that was really fun. And the beach that we go to does not have palm fronds. We are not in the tropics, but I just thought it was really pretty and they're really easy to draw. So I did that. And then here is my blank line a day memory keeper. And what my blank dashboard looks like. And again, I pulled in this washi, which this is from some kind of Galaxy mix, I think, but I don't remember it. It's just like a yellow to pink ombre, and it's like a yellow to pink ombre. So I just thought that was really pretty, and I wanted to use it. And then this is the calendar. I really love this. It's so busy and beautiful, and it's gonna look so great when I, you know, get all of my life in here and use the thing. So I just picked 7 different mild liner colors to use every month as my colors, and I try and remember them. And I keep them with me. You know, I'm gonna grab my pen case at the end to show you kind of everything that I use in here. So yeah. And then because I was filming this and I felt like sketching and I was watching some fun YouTube videos, I went ahead and gave another attempt to that like favorite spread setup of mine, and I just did the same thing for this one. I forgot to write down the days of the week, like the numbers and on anything. So I did not write down any numbers on here. So I'm going to have to do that, which I will. But that is what my first week's spread looks like. I don't have anything else after that. So I always show it on my Instagram stories. I save stuff in highlights. I always show it at the beginning of the week before I write anything, or at the end of the week. Well, almost always. Sometimes I do forget, but I try and do that, and I save that to a highlight that's just got like the name of the month and bullet journal. And I do usually when I'm just like chatting on Instagram stories, I have my bullet journal down in front of me. So you can, if you are interested in seeing what this looks like once I mess it up again, mess it up with my life, you can definitely follow me on Instagram to take a look at that. I'm gonna run and show you my pen case really quick before I end this video. So this is my pen case. It is also from Simply Gilded, and it's got a lot of stuff in it, and I just basically stack these two things like this and carry them around the house. Mostly they just stay in the kitchen or in my office. And then, yeah. So in here I have a whiteout thing, a COVID-19 vaccine sticker, which I forgot to put in my second shot memory spread week, but that's fine, an eraser, and then I have the Pigma Micron pens in a 3, 5, and 8. I mostly write with the 3, sometimes I write in the 5, but those are like my 2 main pens that I use every sort of day and for like all of the writing. I also have a pencil, this, which is like a gel pen, and it's from an old Simply Gilded box. This is a Food Nesque brush pen if I ever want to do like black brush lettering in there. That's usually what I use, and a Papermate Flare pen as well if I want a bolder tip. And then the back of this is where I keep the mild liners that are the colors of the month. That way I can, you know, keep my calendar updated every day and everything. And I do usually just carry these 2 things around with me. This is a large pen case, and if I needed to pare it down and just take those 2 pens with me, I definitely can. I would probably keep the weight out with me because I'm a hot mess, and that's totally fine. But anyway, so that is what that is. When I get to, after this weekend, I guess probably, I will swap out to my June pen colors, which I already have pulled aside right here in a container so that I can just put those ones away and swap these other ones in. Sorry if that got quiet, I was just leaning away. But yeah, anyway, that is pretty much everything. Like I said, if you want to see more bullet journal stuff, definitely check out my Instagram. And if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I'd love it if you subscribe. I already said check me out on Instagram a bunch of times, but I have been really thinking a lot about my functional planning lately, and I'm thinking about trying out some new planners this summer that either could replace my bullet journal or go with my bullet journal, preferably with my bullet journal. For functional planning, I'm just starting to feel like I want something to at least try out some different things. So if you have any suggestions for things that I should check out as far as functional planners go, definitely leave them in the comments down below as well. And that is everything. So I will talk to you all soon. Bye.